Hey, good afternoon. Salutations. This would be Big L. Hello, how y'all doing this afternoon? And this would be Drive Time with me, your man, Big L. Hey, Miss Leslie, I see your picture without even seeing you pop up on the screen. That's my girl. How y'all doing out there? I'm popping in to pop off just a little bit. As y'all see, Ryan, what's going on, man? Um, Let a couple of y'all get in here, and then I will go ahead and get started. See, I don't have theme music. I'm not sexy. I'm not as sexy as the commish or, Prime. What's going on? Look, slow down there, Valenzuela. We gonna get all that. What's going on, Russ? We're gonna get to it. I prefer to try to be positive before I get to the obvious. The obvious this week is the dumpster fire we have calling our defensive plays and setting up our defensive schemes. Um, hey, what do you mean don't get me going? I'm on a Make 'em Famous campaign. I don't know if y'all seen the last 2 days. Lucas, what's going on? I'm having a great day, Leslie. How you doing, darling? But let's go ahead and jump into this with both feet. What's going on, Danny? Um, as y'all see, the car hate was obviously they were chomping at the bit. They already had their pizza pockets ready. Mom was upstairs making the pot roast and everything, and they couldn't wait to run down to the basement and jump on their computers, or they had their phones charged up, their speaking spells ready. A few of them even had charts and screenshots and everything, ready to go because they were ready to start hating right after the game, even though, everything was Carr's fault. Even though, after 2 weeks of my dude, what's going on, little bro? Carlos, what's going on? Denzel Good had a very good run at tackle for 2 weeks. And then what happened? He had a bad game. They ran up against, as much as I hate to say it, one of the greatest scheming coaches, even when he doesn't cheat. Bill Belichick, what's going on, Mike? Bill Belichick is still one of the greatest coaches in the history of this game. Mateo, what's going on? I hate Bill Belichick. I don't like him. He's an ass. I can't stand him. He's right up there with John Elway in my book. However, you got to respect, you ain't got to like him, but you got to respect him. He schemed circles around our offense. And in turn, it wasn't even him, because remember, Bill Belichick's a defensive coach, and it showed because he saw the chink in the armor that nobody attacked, which was the fact that we had a third string right tackle out there on the wing, and they attacked him. And Denzel Good was almost as much of a swinging gate as the other one on the left side. JR, what's going on, my brother? And the difference is Good is a natural guard. It's just that Tom Cable makes all the linemen learn every position so they're interchangeable. Thank God that he did, because if not, we wouldn't have had a tackle, because both of our right tackles got hurt in week 1. So Good got exposed as not having the footwork of a true tackle. And that's the thing. Everybody that wants to put this shit on Carr, first off, you're fucking idiots. See, I'm trying to cut back on my cussing because I got that all out of the way in the commentary, online. Yeah, the Make 'em Famous tour is real. I don't know if y'all noticed that. I'm gonna make you famous. You say some dumb shit. Oh, you coming in hot. I'm gonna make you famous. because I'm gonna unleash the animals on you. Just let that be known. Make sure your take makes sense, because if it doesn't, everybody's gonna get to see it, and they're gonna get to pick your bones clean. And if you got the nuts to back your take up, don't come at me because you said something stupid and I just exposed you for everybody to see you. Don't think you can creep into somebody else's stupid post and then say something. I'm going to make your bitch ass famous. This is Raider motherfucking Nation. Is Carr the best quarterback in the NFL? Not close. Is he the worst fucking quarterback? Not close. You motherfuckers don't like Carr? Take a look at Philadelphia. Take a look at New York. Take a look at Sam Darnold. What the fuck? He's getting lambasted, and he has 7 injured offensive players playing around. You know, he's got 7 backups playing with him. You know, you want to go down the list by division? We can do that. Hey, what's going on, Raider Red? Alyssa, what's happening, darling? We can go through each division and find 2 quarterbacks at least that Derek Carr is better than. So slow your shit down. Because y'all want to replace him? Who the fuck you gonna replace him with? Marcus Mariota? Like that one fucking idiot that got made famous? Huh? Marcus Mariota? He says it's time for Mariota. Marcus Mariota is not on the active fucking roster, all-star. How you gonna replace him with a motherfucker that they put on the injured reserve because he wasn't good enough to really beat out Deshaun Kaiser? But you want to bitch about what we got? Who you going to replace him with? First, before you want to bitch about Derek Carr, who the fuck are you going to replace him with? Do y'all see somebody out there on the horizon? Yeah, y'all talk about the kid at Clemson. Y'all, I'm going to say a name. You fucking Cardosha, Chucky, whatever the fuck. You basement dweller, because when you tried to have a show that sucked, we could see the stairs going down to your basement. That's why you keep a mask on, you fucking fraud. Why are you talking about quarterbacks in college in week 3 of the NFL season? And then the quarterback that you talk about isn't even playing yet. Idiot. Stick with what we have, you fucking moron. Y'all are acting like we are 0-15. Week 3, bitches. Week 3. Huh? And in week 3, we got 2 wins. This is football. But if it was baseball, we'd be making about $25 million a year. So settle the fuck down, you fucking idiots. What? Like I said, and I've said this in the past, y'all are the kind of motherfuckers that would bitch at your woman because you didn't come right. Well, that's your fault. Short shots. Settle the fuck down. This is football. Anyway, meanwhile, back at the ranch, we got screwed on a fumble. Josh Jacobs didn't fumble. He did fumble the ball, but he recovered it. You want to bitch at Carr about fumbling? When did he have time to do it? And it's not the fact that he was throwing the ball and got hit, because Denzel Good was a swinging gate half the game. And like the other idiot that got made famous, going to talk about, well, if he would have held the ball 2 seconds longer, a receiver been open. If he'd have held the ball 2 seconds longer, you'd have been bitching about him holding the ball because he'd have been sitting on his ass. You fucking idiot. Madden isn't the same thing as the real thing, because on the computerized game, the players don't think. So check yourself. Y'all are bitching about a motherfucker that's going into week 4 that hasn't thrown an interception yet. And that's all y'all bitched about. He talking about he threw the ball away. He threw the ball away to avoid a sack. And he threw it at Josh Jacobs. That if he would have made an exceptional catch, you know, he was saving yardage on a blown up play. Morons. We're not that bad. We're injured in very key positions. And the other thing that I would like to say to DBs, you punk ass bitches, the only reason Edwards is hurt is because your weak ass got beat like a drum, and then you tackled him and rolled up on his legs on purpose. They need to outlaw that tackle altogether. Even if you don't grab him by the shoulder pads, it's still a fucking horse collar, because the horse collar got outlawed because people were rolling up on the back of the legs and doing exactly what that bitch did to Edwards, which is hyperextend his knee backwards, which is why he came out of the game, because they're rolling up on their legs and yanking him backwards, intentionally causing an injury. Max could have done the same thing to Cam Newton when he sacked him in the second half. But what did Max do? Instead of sliding down on Cam's legs and potentially hurting him, he jumped. And he rode Cam down with his legs nowhere near Cam's lower legs. And he just rode him down. And he put his weight in the middle of Cam's back, so he fell. That's what a baller does. A bitch will sit there and yank and pull and do harm. Max sacked him and got up and went back so he could play again. A real baller is going to, they're going to hit you, but they ain't going to try to hurt you. If they hurt you, it's going to be because they knocked the shit out of you. Not because they did some pussy shit and rolled up on you, or like that Cowboy player did, that punk motherfucker that needs to be suspended for what he did to Chris Carson and roll on him like an alligator. Bitch, if you an alligator, go get in the pit and eat raw meat, you punk. But then he's a brokeback, so what the fuck else would you expect? I mean, really? You gonna roll up on a motherfucker and then roll on his leg so he can't twist? If the league don't suspend him, then that just lets you know how much of a pussy the NFL office is. That motherfucker should get the 4-game suspension. He should be gone for as long as Carson's out. Plus a game. Because it was a bitch move without pay. Back to the Raiders. Our offensive game planning. I mean, come on. When you know that Waller is big, did it take a genius to see that their safety, their strong safety, number 32, was spying over the top? He was in a spy position on Waller all day. It may have looked like it was man-to-man coverage, but it wasn't. Waller was double covered all day over the top. Every time the ball got near Waller, number 32, the safety, not the linebacker, not the underneath coverage. It was the safety that was breaking up the passes because Waller was being guarded all day, double covered over and under. That's why it took till the middle of the third quarter for him to catch a pass. You can't throw the ball in double tight end coverage and break up anything in that zone. They're already rolled up to stop the run, so why are you going to come out in a run formation? We can run the ball with 4 wides and Josh. You know that Denzel's a guard. He's a run blocker. He's a bulldozer. So why are you constantly trying to get him to pass block against a linebacker that they moved to defensive end just because he's quick? That dude was a linebacker. It was designed to exploit the fact that good is not a tackle. And we played into it by trying to pick apart a defense designed to force Carr to pass. So what they do? They played into it and threw the ball, which meant that Carr rarely. Exactly. And then the one guy that could stretch the defense to open up the middle of the field, that bitch rolled up on his legs and took him out of the game. First time Edwards caught the ball, they took him out of the game. Now, I'm not saying that was the design of Belichick. That was the bitch covering him because it was obviously he wasn't going to be able to cover him the whole game because he beat him like a drum on a crossing route. And if he didn't have the angle on him, he wouldn't have caught up to him to roll up on him and hurt his legs. Now, let's take a timeout on the offense and move to Mr. Gunther and that bullshit defense. But before I do that, I want to give some constructive criticism real quick. We all love Mr. Abrams. We love him, Mr. Abrams. But you know what? Aggressiveness has one fatal flaw. You run in for a kill shot, you're exposing yourself to get shook. And he got shook like a stripper's ass on payday over and over and over again because he's running downhill aggressively like he does. We love his aggression. But Jonathan Abram, pick your head up. Break down. Burkhead, Rex fucking Burkhead, shook this motherfucker like an angry wife abuser. Every fucking time he had the ball. People making excuses. Well, it was his shoulder. It didn't have shit to do with his shoulder. It had to do with he was out of position. He was going in to try to kill the man, and as soon as he saw him, as soon as he got within 2 steps of him, all he did was go, whoop, and Jonathan Abram went tumbling down the field like a fucking cheetah chasing a gazelle that just dead-legged his ass. And he dead-legged him over and over and over again. Jonathan Abram didn't get one kill shot. The only kill shot he got was on a linebacker. Because when Burkhead and any other running back jumped to the side, he hit the motherfucker chasing him. And that's how he kept getting loose. Because if you notice on all those long runs, it was Jonathan Abram that was getting beat because he was going in there trying to kill him instead of breaking down and just making the damn tackle. You ain't got to kill somebody to be Pro Bowler, Hall of Famer. How many times did you see Ed Reed deliver a kill shot at the same position? No, Ed Reed was a ball hawk. Ed Reed was a safety valve. If they didn't get, if the linebackers didn't get him, Ed Reed did. Ed Reed stormed around in the backfield. He was back there playing safety. That's why he's one of the all-time leaders in safety interceptions. And he's also one of the leaders in taking the ball back to the house. That's the reality. Fuck you, Marcus Ramos, you sissy bitch. It ain't wah, wah, wah. It's reality. If you don't want to listen to it, if it don't agree with your program, then get off the fucking phone. Get off, quit watching. Suck my ass. But the reality of it is this. He needs to play defense. Exactly, Canyon. And the reason it was arm tackles is because he was out of position, because he was going in, running, and not breaking down and tackling the person. He was going in there trying to take people's heads off. You ain't got to take somebody's head off to end up in a Pro Bowl. You ain't got to take somebody's head off to end up in the Hall of Fame. Yeah, you have plenty of opportunities to make kill shots. You're a safety. That's what you do on fucking passes. When it's running, you have to tackle the runner. You cannot always make a kill shot in open field. He got shook in open field every time he did that. Learn from your mistakes. This is not the SEC. It's better than the SEC. You can't do that. The worst team in this league would beat Alabama. And you played at Mississippi State. Step your game up. Exactly. And if you're looking at his waist, his legs can't go nowhere his waist doesn't. Okay, Ricardo, you're a fucking moron. A goddamn idiot. He fumbled the ball because the fucking the fucking right tackle was a swinging gate because he's actually a guard. So that one fumble is the reason why the defense gave up damn near 400 yards of rushing. That was the one play that cost the game. I would really appreciate it if you pulled your head all the way out your ass before you touched your keyboard. Now back to some more important shit. Our defensive game plan. You're still a fucking idiot. He fumbled the ball, and again, it was Derek Carr's fault that the defense gave up damn near 400 yards of rushing. If you can tell me how that correlates into any motherfucking thing, get back to me. Until then, step away from your keyboard or your phone or whatever. Maybe you didn't mean to type that and you still got the lube on your hand from pulling on yourself or ramming your fist up your ass. But the reality of it is you make no fucking sense. Again, this ain't Madden, motherfucker. It's real football. The thing is this. No adjustments. Once they figured out at the end of the first half that they could start running the ball, they ran it. And they ran it. And they ran it. And they ran it down our throat. And they didn't stop. Now, I called them out earlier, Mike. I got them earlier. But I'm not going to spend time on the obvious. I'll just make them famous when they're stupid enough to hit their keyboards in the page. It's the Make Them Famous campaign. You say stupid shit, I'm just going to put them up there. I'm going to repost their stupid ass takes so everybody can see them. And I'm the game warden. I'm just going to feed the animals. Y'all have at them. You can have at them. I'll bend them over for you, and y'all can just put your gloves on and randomly fist them until they fucking squeal and decide to run. I'll play the banjo, we can play Deliverance, and y'all can tell them how pretty their mouths is until they fucking just squeal. How about that? We'll just do it that way. I'm not going to address these dumb motherfuckers unless they got the idea to say something. That's all I'm going to say. I ain't going to get these motherfuckers they do in here saying stupid shit. So my thing is this here. Our defensive coordinator, I don't know if Marinelli is getting a chance to say anything or have any input, but if he is, then both of those motherfuckers need to go. Because, yeah. And then, even with how fucked up our defense played, all of those people out there bitching, we could be the fucking Falcons. There are the Falcons, who are the only team in NFL history to lose 2 games when they were up by 15 points in the fourth quarter. And they did the shit back-to-back weeks. I mean, it was... But y'all want to bitch about us with 1 loss. They done got their ass beat. They've gotten their ass beat in 2 quarters and lost games when they were up by a combined 31 points. But y'all want to bitch about us? Dumb fucks. Our defense is horrible. This past week, the week before, the defense didn't get no credit. Everything was because Drew Brees played bad. Drew Brees didn't play bad for a quarter and a half. It's not the fact that they can't play. They ran into the GOAT defensive coordinator in NFL history. Remember, Belichick had 2 Super Bowl rings before he became the head coach of New England. And remember, also, he got the fucking Cleveland Browns to the playoffs for 3 years before he got to New England. The Browns! Cheating or not cheating, the man can coach. And our defensive coordinators got treated like the bitches they are. Gunther is a has-been. Complete has-been. I mean, at this point, and I saw earlier, it was like people, earlier today, they were talking about maybe signing Burfict. I don't know how long Kwiatkowski's going to be out. However, Burfict didn't play that bad before he got booted last year. But the thing is, why go give this man money when he's unreliable? Because you can't, I mean, he's a loose cannon. You don't know if he's going to do something stupid and get kicked out, so we can't depend on him. That's just like Earl Thomas. People are like, go get him. No. You can't trust the motherfucker to do something that's not going to. It's Antonio Brown with the inability to catch. Which brings me to Arnett. The pussification of the American male football player. Motherfucker, you're a cornerback. What do you need your thumb for? Really? Really? I mean, you're a cornerback. You play cornerback because you can't catch the football. So what the fuck do you need your fucking thumb for? Fine, go get the surgery, wrap that bitch up, and get on the fucking field. You hurt the fucking thumb landing, and you know who hit him when he landed? That tripped him? Jonathan Abram, because he missed the tackle. Crickets. Crickets. You don't need your thumb. Bye week. Go get the screws put in your fucking thumb. Get a club put on your fucking hand and get out there and learn how to play your position better. You're getting better, so why would you want to take 6 weeks off to become a fucking project? If you are getting, I mean, fuck, Ronnie Lott had the fucking tip of his finger cut off so he could stay in a game. I don't know if any of you know who, what was it, Mike Crumry? The motherfucker broke his leg and played 2 more downs in the Super Bowl and then refused to leave the fucking stadium because he wanted to watch the rest of the game and be there with his teammates. Jack Youngblood, Hall of Fame defensive end, played a game with a broken bone in his leg. And these bitches want to miss games because of a fucking thumb? Fuck you. The pussification of the American male goes to also the football field. It's your thumb, motherfucker. It is not your foot. It is not your toe. If you can run, you should be on the field. If it is not your legs, you should be in, that Jack Youngblood, the one that played for the Lambs. When they were in the Super Bowl, he played with a broken leg. And he wore number 85 as a defensive end. That was kind of gangster too. But anyway, see, when you're from LA, you kind of know those things, even though you're a Raider fan. And he also played defensive end at like 240 pounds. The motherfucker was a monster. So, yeah. I mean, Jack Lambert. The list goes on and on. You had motherfucker. Yeah, exactly. Buda Baker is a DB. He playing with a club. He's out there beating the shit out of people with one hand. Nah, Chris, I don't think the game has passed him by, but I do think that he needs to get a passing game coordinator. Because he needs somebody that'll get in his ear and say, look, we need to spread this out. We need to go 3 wide. We need to go 4 wide. At least spread Waller out. Get mismatches. Put a cornerback, force them to put a cornerback on Waller. We know that he can beat linebackers, but if you keep him inside, if you keep him too close, if you have a linebacker on him, that means instantaneously that there's going to be a safety to double him up. You put him outside. I mean, look at what the Chiefs do with Kelsey. Look at what the 49ers do with what's-his-face? Kittle. They line them up in the slot. They line them up as the wideout to force mismatches with smaller people. And Waller is faster than both of those dudes. Waller could play the role of a big wide receiver because he's fast. When we drafted Aitman, that's what I figured they would do, is try to convert him into a vertical tight end because he's too slow to be outside. Didn't do it. And now he's just wide on the practice squad, just taking up space. At this point, after your second year on the practice squad, you pretty much just need to be spending time doing distance learning to get your degree or your master's degree so you can go do something. Because the NFL is not for you. Not 2 years on the practice squad as a wideout, dude. If you ain't off the practice squad and on a squad, you may want to look to Canada or go to Europe and make about 50 G's a year. And, or call it a day and go get a job in the real world or go coach somewhere. Because you ain't going to make it in the NFL. Because, was it Aitman came out of Oklahoma State? He's like a 6'6", 6'7" wideout that has marginal speed. If that doesn't say tight end, I don't know what does. Put on another 20 pounds and put your hand in the dirt. Learn how to block. You shoe in at tight end because you'd be faster than most other tight ends because you're too slow to be a threat at receiver. I mean, shit, if you can't outrun Renfro, you're too slow to be a slot receiver. That's his bottom line. Hey, all right. Love you, Miss Leslie. Tell Tristan and said, keep it silver and black. Love you, mama. Talk to you soon. But that's the reality of it, man. We ain't got no time for all this, it's week 3. So we're basically at the post. We're going to be a quarter through the season after this week. The Bills, they really haven't beat anybody. The Rams almost came back after they pulled their heads out of their asses. But, the Jets and the Dolphins, not so much. That's just like the Brokebacks inflated record last year. There's no way in hell that the Eagles should have made the playoffs, and they proved that the first week of the playoffs. They got their asses kicked. Oh, and that's right. Wasn't Carson Wentz supposedly a second-tier quarterback? Yeah, he's proven those prognosticators right again. And all of y'all that were saying, bitching about Carr, you could have him because at the beginning of the season, that's who you wanted, right? The dude that's thrown 7 interceptions with supposedly better personnel. Yeah. Be appreciative of what you have instead of bitching about everything else because you know a name. There's a lot of names that you know out there that suck ass. Because remember when everybody was out there clamoring to get, what's his name? Was in Pittsburgh with Antonio Brown. That's in New York now. Sucking like a $3 hooker with a bad tooth. What's his name? See? He sucked so bad the last 2 years, I don't even remember his name. So, hey, George. So George Bell, he's in Philly. He gets to see that train wreck every week, whether he wants to or not. And see, and that's the thing, Robert. The Bills actually have defensive personnel. Hey, David, what's going on, my man? The Bills actually have defensive personnel, and their defense is lagging. And Cyrus, I agree with you. If you're a fan, look, okay, give it to the end of the season before you give a critique that is so damning where you're talking about replacing somebody. Player, yeah, but the coach, when a defense plays as bad as it did, the tackling, that's fundamental. But the scheme, we got ran on because the scheme was fucked up. Yeah, I already hit that, David. Abrams a great player, good heart. We love his aggressiveness, but dude, fundamentals, break down and tackle somebody. He got beat in the open field like he ate his daddy's big piece of chicken every single time. You know, and that's the thing. We're going to be all right. You just got to learn your lesson, learn the lesson, and then, yeah, absolutely no adjustments. I hit on that earlier, my man. No adjustments. Young coaches, I heard this yesterday. Young coaches win the first half. Experienced coaches adjust and win the second half. Great coaches win 6 Super Bowls, regardless of whether they cheating or not. So, yeah, we just got ran over because once it was evident and obvious that we did everything, our entire fucking plan was to shut Cam down, and it worked. They were like, okay. So they tried running, and it worked, and it kept working, and we never adjusted to it. So we got our asses kicked because the coaches didn't adjust. And for all of you out there, you fucking couch idiots, you fly by night, Johnny come lately, you know, you look at the shiny new thing and think that's what we want or what we should do. NFL MVP Lamar Jackson, did y'all see his stat line last night, against a suspect Chief defense? Did y'all see his stat line? He's a scrambling quarterback and get out of anything. You know, he's the NFL MVP. He threw for 97 fucking yards, 2 fumbles. None of y'all got shit to say. In the history of this league, two running, scrambling, mobile quarterbacks have won the Super Bowl. 2. Mahomes last year, and he did a majority of it, and he still does a majority of his damage in the pocket. Yes, he's elusive and can get away, and he can run. But most of his damage is done in the pocket because he has a genius as an offensive head coach, but he also has a genius as an offensive coordinator. And he has really fast receivers and a great scheme. And the run complements the pass because they're our pass first team. We're not. We're a run first team, and we run really good. We need a different passing scheme. 1. 2. The other quarterback, Steve Young. Steve Young was the other quarterback that won a Super Bowl. That was a scrambling, running, whatever you want to call it, quarterback. And I don't know if any of you are old enough to know this. He was shit as a quarterback until he learned to stay in the pocket. Steve Young couldn't win anything. He sat on the bench behind Joe Montana for 5 years. Not because Montana was that much better, but because he had to learn to keep his ass in the pocket to be effective. And for those of y'all that say Carr's not mobile, he's not this, he's not that, check 40 times. Derek Carr is like the 6th fastest quarterback in the NFL right now. He just is a pocket passer. He can get away. The last 3 years, he's been scared. I'll admit it. I'm not like a Carr homer. He's a Raider quarterback. So I'm going to support the quarterback. But I've been very displeased with Carr's play. Fran Tarkenton, yes, a scrambler. How many Super Bowls did he win? None. There are 2 quarterbacks that are considered scramblers. Well, one was a scrambler, and Mahomes is just everything. No, Gannon doesn't need to be a coach. If you listen to Rich Gannon fucking call a game, Rich Gannon is just this side of Chris Collinsworth. The three most annoying fucking color commentators in football: Chris Collinsworthless, Tony Homo, and Rich Gannon. Russell Wilson, if you notice, is elusive. He doesn't run that much. He's elusive. And if you look, Russell Wilson runs because his offensive line has never been good. He's running for his life. He's not running because he's out there. He's not Patrick Mahomes when it comes to Mahomes runs and runs forward. Russell Wilson is running for his fucking life. Rarely does Russell Wilson run forward. He's running backwards and sideways. And his receivers get open, and he has a laser point for an arm. Bottom line, Russell's running for his life. And because of his athletic ability and because of his conditioning, he ends up outrunning the people chasing him, and it buys him just enough time to get the ball out. Bottom line, Carr's mobile. He's better this year than he has been the last three. And if you saw him the year that he got hurt, he was at his best. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, Mr. Riccardi. I would rather a QB that wins. I don't give a fuck about fantasy points. I don't give a fuck about stats. I give a fuck about victories. And you say shit like that, again, I ask you, you want to bitch about that kind of shit? Tell me an option. Suggest a fucking realistic option, and I'll give credence to what you're saying. Otherwise, the fuck up you can shut. How about that? Cool, Ray. That's what I'm saying. Mobile and can throw the ball. Lamar Jackson is very mobile, but you get him running and he can't throw the ball for shit. When Lamar Jackson's running, he couldn't hit the broadside of an elephant's ass from 5 yards. Rich Gannon ran our offense and got us, to the Super Bowl because he ran the same offense that John Gruden ran in Tampa. The difference is when he went up against John Gruden's offense, or John Gruden's offense with John Gruden being the other coach, they had the blueprint and it shut him down. John Gruden won the Super Bowl with Brad fucking Johnson. We had the better team. They had the better plan. I don't give a fuck who your quarterback is. When you get out coached, you just fucking get out coached. Right now, our biggest problem is our defensive coordinator gets out coached. He could get out coached by a fucking Pee Wee League team right now. Exactly, Greg. Lamar Jackson gets rattled. When that team falls behind, when Baltimore falls behind, they're fucked. Because instead of just running an offense and doing something rhythmically, he has to think. I had a coach, and Coach Bobby Jones, one of his favorite things to say, what do division titles matter? That's like saying the Dodgers they've won 8 division titles in a row. How many fucking titles mean winning the championship? Not fucking one. How many playoff wins does Lamar Jackson have? And he's played all the fucking games at home. So you can take the division titles and shove them up your ass and don't use lube. Use sandpaper, because that's exactly how much pain the city of Baltimore is in every year they get let down. Because they get to watch it at home while he bends over and gets fucked with a razor blade dildo. Fuck a division title. Because we're the first team to win as a wild card. That's what matters. Bringing home the trophy. Fuck division titles. The Lombardi matters. Not division titles. The Lombardi. Sorry. Winning a division title? Yay! The division title is a participation trophy. That's it. The division title is a participation trophy. The Super Bowl is what they play for. You don't get a ring for winning the division title. You get a nice little bedspread that you can put on the side of the stadium. Who gives a fuck? For 50 years, the Chiefs fans didn't. You know, you tell me how Cleveland Brown fans feel. Well, then again, they don't win division titles either, so never mind, my bad. So, it's about that time. But before I go, look what I got my little homie. So, Z's repping the Raiders too. And I don't know if somebody was talking about this hat. Actually, I got a homie that makes hats. Yeah, Nancy, exactly. Like the Slippers. The Slippers won. They win division titles. What do they get? Thank you. Carr's not the issue. We need better play calling. We need a new defensive coordinator. Look, they lucky because, I still laugh at, we are not fucking, could you imagine being an Atlanta Falcon fan? Hey, y'all hit up the Raider Reaction inbox and say something about the camo Raider hat, because if there's enough people that are interested in it, I can hit my dude up and get a price for y'all and get back to you, and maybe I can get him to make a few of them. Because it's not a copyright infringement, because this is, see, it's kind of dope. And I don't even, and I don't normally wear these little beanie type hats because I got quite the melon. So anyway, yeah, hey, Tommy, we just need our wide receivers healthy, because right now our speed wide receivers are the one that's hurt. But my thing is, and right tackle, look, Denzel needs more time out there, or Trent Brown needs to pull out his tampon. I mean, it's your calf, dude. Unless you got some sort of blood circulating problem, get your ass on the field and quit being a bitch. The pussification of the American male football player. Your calf? You know what I want to do. You know what I want to say. Yo, calf? Calf. We talking about a calf. You don't get your big ass out there and get... What? A calf? Yeah. Denzel just got beat. Out-coached. There's no way. I mean, he got set up to fail by our offensive game plan. You don't put that man out there on an island knowing that he's a guard. You don't put your third string tackle out there on an island like that. All of their blitzes came from that side. They were so confident in that. I mean, come on. How often do you see blitzes coming from the quarterback's front side? They usually try to sneak up on him. They were like, motherfucker, we just gonna come straight at you. We gonna come at you in your face. We know we can get through him. And we can get through him faster than your quarterback and get rid of the ball. Like Carr said, I missed open receivers. Yeah, because you didn't have time to throw the damn ball. Yeah, but see, like I said before, Brian, your boy Thomas Wildcard, that's Antonio Brown without the ability to catch the ball. And with him and his brother in Las Vegas, ain't nobody safe. Them dudes walk in a room, the fish quit swimming. But anyway, y'all, I love y'all. Thanks for hanging out. Don't forget, 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific. Commish will be back on here. He'll light into the night, set y'all up for the night. Remember, tomorrow morning, got the Raider Reaction Morning Show. Yeah, George, I think we're going to be good. We got to win over the Bills. I don't see that as a problem. I'll be back on here Thursday. And remember, peace. It's all about that love. Don't get my ranting wrong. I love y'all. I just have an issue with stupid people. And, you know, it's all about that nation, y'all. It's all about that right there. Don't ever get it twisted. It's about the nation. I'll see y'all Thursday.